Hello guys. In this video, I'm going to be doing an experiment rather simple. I'm going to be mixing these two reagents for a blue precipitation. This right here is copper sulfate pentahydrate in its aqueous form. This is an excess of potassium hydroxide in its aqueous form. This may look blue. Well, it is blue. As you can see, there is no residue. All of the copper sulfate has been dissolved. If I mix the two, it will react to form potassium sulfate and copper hydroxide, which will precipitate out and settle at the bottom. Alright, without further ado, let's get mixing. Alright, well, as you can see, the copper sulfate is reacting to form a precipitation. See, this is very clear. There's no residue. But this, on the other hand, it looks like a cloud of Smurf juice, or shall I say, copper hydroxide. Copper hydroxide is supposedly dark in color. I can filter it out in the end, just so that I don't waste anything. I can save the copper. Alright, this looks like a very muddy solution of blue water and blue solids. Well, the solution is actually clear. It's just the residue is dark blue, so it makes the solution look as if it is colored dark blue, but it's not. It's just that, you know, when you see a precipitation, it is really difficult to tell what's the color of the actual solution because the light will get reflected differently. So the solution looks blue, but it's actually just the precipitate. Right, I've let this mixture settle for 1 hour. Just now you saw that the copper hydroxide was blue. Well, now it's black. I suppose it decomposed to form water and copper oxide. It shouldn't be a huge problem as long as the copper is in its ionic form and not copper metal, because copper metal is non-reactive to acids except nitric acid. I tried making nitric acid previously by mixing sodium bisulfate with sodium nitrate and then dry distilling it. I regret doing that ever because it released so much nitrogen dioxide gas that it blew apart the apparatus with glass shards, so never doing that again. Instead, I'm going to be making copper oxide and copper hydroxide so I can directly react it with weaker acids. It shouldn't be a big problem as long as I just obtain it through copper sulfate and potassium hydroxide mixing. So to prove that the black or blue color is not the solution but rather the residue, I've been filtering it, and you can see that the filtrate I receive is clear. It's like water, except it is a potassium sulfate and the excess potassium hydroxide I added earlier. The reason I added potassium hydroxide in excess was because my target is to just get the copper oxide and the copper hydroxide. The filtrate, I can just discard it. I just want the residue. So, I'm gonna have to filter this overnight. It will be annoying, but I hope this is worth it. My target is to get the copper oxide and copper hydroxide. Thanks for watching.